Summit for Democracy 2023 was topped off with the eloquent words of American President Joe Biden. As an onlooker of this extravaganza for democracy, a question has arisen in my mind. What exactly is going on with America's democracy? The answer could be put in a nutshell: little progress and even relapse. Le Monde pointed out that 2022 was a year of doubt for U.S. democracy. The Washington Post and the New Yorker observed that American democracy is in a worse state than ever before. And according to Pew Research Center, in June 2022, about 6 in 10 U.S. adults claimed that they were not satisfied with the way democracy is working in America. Biden claimed that defending against authoritarianism, we have to prove democracy still works, that our government still works, and we can deliver for our people. However, 2 years after the chaos at the Capitol, the American people still live in a country where money runs politics and political polarization are the norm, where government policies are growing more disconnected from public opinion, where social contradictions and social divisions are worsening, and where racial discriminations and gun problems are nothing rare. When a country cannot guarantee the rights of its people, especially the fundamental right of life, and when it fails to deliver people's opinions in their decisions, how can this country gain trust or credit for some democracy summit it started? This event is more of a runway than a summit. Given that the American election is approaching, politicians are, of course, working even harder to run the show. Democracy, freedom, and human rights are like fashion items on display, with Americans idolized or neutral seated as audience, while doors are shut to their competitors with an arrogant excuse: they have no such thing to show. One can say the US is actually practicing authoritarianism when it claims to fight against it, and the country is going against the tide when it poses itself as the driver of progress in our world. In fact, China has repeatedly stated that democracy is not a unitary concept. Each country is a different situation, which will provide different soil for democracy to sprout and grow. Naturally, the fruits will not be all the same. Democracy is related to people's well-being, so only the people get to practice and assess democracy. The "I'm democratic, you and I are different, so you're not democratic" rationale of the US is just ridiculous. Now look at the core of the issue. The US is obsessed with democracy. But is that truly for democracy? Obviously not. Instead, stirring up the world and waiting for windfalls from other countries' turmoil, I'm afraid that is America's real agenda. Like Chinese President Xi Jinping once said, the practice of stoking division and confrontation in the name of democracy is in itself a violation of the spirit of democracy. It will not receive any support. What it brings is only endless harm. On the front of China-US relationship, the so-called democracy debate is just the tip of the iceberg, since the US has grown rather skilled in manipulating politics and playing a zero-sum game, taking advantage of its louder voice in the international arena and others' lack of understanding towards China. But has this made America great again? Or has China been intimidated by this? One would not be seen in a more favorable light after blowing out others' lamp. Thank you for watching. I'm Xu Yi, Beijing.